Hi, hello, good morning. Today's look is going to be a look featuring literally nothing new, just a bunch of old favorites so that we can catch up a little bit, because once again, time got away from me and it's been at least a week since I filmed my last video. There is a video coming for you, hopefully this weekend, which is going to be a very exciting collaboration with Claudia from B.O.B. Mindset, but I'm not going to tell you much more than something exciting is coming. I'm going to start doing my makeup. I'm going to take the Inglot eyeshadow primer. Time is just going by so fast, the days are going by so fast and they're so like cramped with things to do, especially like at work, that I don't even have the time to think about what I would like to film for YouTube. I really hope that in December things start to slow down a bit, and especially like the second half of December I'll have more time to film, because of course the second half of December is exciting videos like rankings, favorites, that kind of thing, and another actually exciting collaboration in December. But yeah, I haven't really bought any new makeup, so we're not really going to feature anything new today. And maybe I can go back to the topic we discussed in my previous video. I'm going to take my Estee Lauder Double Wear Foundation in the shade 2N. So last time that I filmed the video, I shared with you that I was sort of considering one of the Charlotte Tilbury Pop Shots, the shade Cosmic Rocks. And I was also considering throwing in something from Westman Atelier in my order, because this would be an order that I would place on Cult Beauty, because Cult Beauty is one of the places where I can get Charlotte Tilbury with a good discount here in the Netherlands. And I was, first of all, I was operating under the false impression that if I reach a certain amount of money, I'm going to get free shipping. And I think that either doesn't exist for Cult Beauty orders anymore, or I'm very far from that threshold. So it seems like my efforts were all in vain to even like find something additional to order. But also just the idea of having an order shipped just for that one teeny tiny eyeshadow from Charlotte Tilbury seems really stupid. So I was considering trying one of the cream contour sticks and one of the cream blushes from Westman Atelier. And I asked your opinion in my last video on both of these products, because I wanted to gather a bit of feedback to get like a general feel of where these products stand in terms of their merit. And let me tell you guys, you were not helpful, okay? You can go to my comments on that video and you can see that there is a more or less like 50-50 division in the opinions on whether or not, especially when it comes to Westman Atelier, whether or not I should try their products. Half of you were over the moon and thought I would love them, and the other half of you were pretty lukewarm in regards to their products. So, thank you for nothing. No. In all seriousness, I'm very grateful for your feedback, because that's really like valuable for me to know what people think about a product and why something, you know, appeals to them or not, because knowing my own taste, based on what you say, I can draw a conclusion whether I would like a certain product or not. Now, I will tell you this, I still haven't placed that order. I've decided that, oh, by the way, for my concealer, I'm just going to take my good old Chanel Sublimage concealer, and this one is in the shade, I want to say B20. Yes, this is the shade 20, not B20, just 20. So I haven't placed that order. I'm still in doubt what I want to do with it. By the way, I'm just taking that on a little spatula, and I'm just going to apply a little bit at the usual spots where I apply concealer. So first of all, knowing that Black Friday is coming, I know that I can get a better deal than 15%, because the Pop Shot from Charlotte Tilbury, the most that I could get down from it was 15 to 20-ish%, and I know that Cult Beauty can do better. You can do 25%, and because Black Friday is coming and I have literally no rush to purchase any of these products, and I still have doubts whether I should purchase them in the first place, I haven't placed that order and I'm going to continue simmering on it. But essentially, I've downscaled my order now to contain the Pop Shot from Charlotte Tilbury and one of the cream blushes. I removed the contour stick because I figured, do I really need a contour stick? Is that something that I'm going to get a lot of use out of? I don't think so. And I can get a pretty good feel of the formula if I have the mini blush. And the nice thing about the blush and the contour stick, they are both offered in a mini size. I don't have to purchase a full size. I would never if it was a full size. But they offer them in mini sizes, and the mini blush was already on 20% off sale, so I'm hoping that by Black Friday they might even knock off a bit more from the price, and then I might consider purchasing it. unless, you know, that initial spark of fire that was ignited, you know, for me to try these products burns off and I decide that I'm just not interested anymore, which is still possible because there is still about a week, I think beginning of next week they're going to start doing the Black Friday sales, and then we shall see. I am going to grab my Prada Rebalancing setting powder to set the foundation. So that is where I stand on that order. I haven't ordered anything new, and you know, that is also one of the reasons you will not be seeing anything new on my channel in the foreseeable future. But I think that you're quite used to playing with older products here on my channel, so I hope you will not mind. I'm also not planning on purchasing anything, honestly, with Black Friday. Like I said, this small purchase from Cult Beauty would be the only thing I would consider over Black Friday. Other than that, I have no interest in anything. I might get like a few backup shampoos, but that's about it. I'm going to quickly do my brows with the 24-hour brow setter from Benefit. I did remember one thing that I might still purchase, because I've been eyeing this lipstick for literally several years now, and I don't know why I haven't purchased it, because I'm pretty sure I would probably love the color. We're talking about the Matte Trance from Pat McGrath Labs in the shade Guinevere. And Guinevere has been on my radar for literally years, and I cannot tell you for the life of me why I've never purchased it. Probably at some point I was afraid that it would be too dark, but I've seen it on other people. I've heard a lot of like good reviews about that color specifically. So if Mother does her Cyber Monday sale, when she usually has her lipsticks for like a really good price, I think I will buy Guinevere finally. So that is a purchase that I'm considering quite seriously, but again, it would not be on a, you know, moderate sale price. I would purchase it if it's on a like very steep sale. Something like what she usually does for Cyber Monday. And I can't remember if she did the Cyber Monday lipstick sale last year, because it's been a few years since I've participated in that sale. But I haven't heard anything about a sale from Pat McGrath Labs, and honestly this year I feel like they've like slowed down on the incessant sales, which I consider a good sign, because the incessant sales were just not leaving a very good taste in my mouth over the past couple of years. So the fact that they've slowed down a bit is actually something that I appreciate. Let me grab a bronzer. For bronzer today, I'm actually first going to start off with one of the Sunkissed Glow Bronzers from Charlotte Tilbury. This one is in the shade 1, Fair, so it has a bit more of like a cooler undertone to it. And it's a color that I specifically use primarily in the winter months. And I'm going to try to be subtle, because I want to also apply a powder product over top of it just to set it a bit. Not that this product necessarily needs to be set, but you know, I want to be extra because I want to use the other bronzer, like the powder bronzer, because it's another color that I really like, especially in the cooler months. And let me tell you, the cooler months have arrived with a swing in the Netherlands. Yesterday it was like legit snowing. It was snowing a few minutes ago as well, but now it's clearing up, which is good, because it means that the temperatures will go above 0 and I can bike to work, because after my knee incident last year, you can bet your ass I am not biking anymore when it is freezing outside. Grandma has no more limbs to spare, okay? The legs are done, now we have to start breaking arms, and I need my arms to work. I mean, objectively speaking, most people need their arms, but you know, because I work in a lab and I do a lot of work with my actual hands, I can't afford to, you know, be non-operational for any amount of time when it comes to my hands, or preferably not. Anyway, I don't know why I went on that tangent. Let me show you the powder bronzer that I want to use. This is the shade Diffused Bronze Light from Hourglass. You know what I want from Hourglass? I would like to purchase one of their blushes, because I absolutely love the formula on these. This is one of the most flattering, blurring formulas that you will ever encounter on the market in terms of powders. They are these beautiful like baked products, and they just look so incredibly flawless on the skin. I know there's been a lot of controversy with Hourglass not catering to deeper skin tones, but from what I gather, they've been doing better. And I love this brush, but oh my god, it sheds like a mofo. So are you guys planning any purchases on Black Friday? What is on your top priority list? I know a couple of you in the end didn't get the Mega Palette, the Luminous Legends from Pat McGrath Labs, and you are indeed waiting for a sale to get it, either from Sephora or from Pat's website itself. For my blush today, I'm going to grab another winter favorite. You know, let's call this video, I'm going to call this video something in the lines of like winter favorites kind of makeup. I'm going to grab Rosy Beige from the Gucci blush line. This is one of my favorite shades from them. And it is just perfect for the winter months. And even though I've mentioned this several times, I will reiterate it. I like to pat this blush on my cheeks, and I don't want to blend it out because it changes color when I blend it out. It becomes more mauve purple, and I would prefer it to remain more like this neutrally browny beigey rose color. So I don't really blend this too much, I just sort of like tap it on my cheeks. For highlighter, I'm going to grab another oldie but goodie, especially a product that I enjoy in the winter months, and this is the Rêve de Camélia highlighter from Chanel, which also has an absolutely flawless texture to it, and it looks beautiful on the skin. In other news, I finished watching a TV show that I really enjoyed. So it's been some time since I've watched really like spooky shows in the October month. I don't really know why. I feel like the last year there's been something going on in my personal life which has knocked me off my balance, and I've had like more anxiety, and I've been feeling, you know, a bit more, I've been in a somewhat like worse place emotionally speaking. So when I'm feeling like this, I can't handle like horror, thriller type shows very well. I haven't really been in the mood to watch thrillers, horror shows especially, and I love watching these kind of shows in like the month of October. By the way, I'm going to set all the powders on my face with a little bit of Fix Plus. But I've really missed it, and now that I don't have to travel anywhere, because that's going to sound really stupid, at the tender age of 42, I can still, you know, freak myself out late at night, especially if I'm by myself. So the last few months I had to travel a lot, I had to like be in hotel rooms by myself, and my imagination can run wild when I'm by myself. Like, I know that reasonably logically speaking, supernatural things, I don't believe in, like, I do not believe in supernatural things, like logically speaking, but late at night, when it's dark and I'm laying alone in bed and I hear sounds, I can freak myself out. So I've decided that if I'm traveling, I am not going to watch shows like this, which can really like disturb my sleep. I already have such a hard time sleeping when I'm by myself somewhere nowadays. But now for a while I will not be going anywhere. No one is going anywhere, so I feel comfortable going back to watching somewhat more, you know, horror-y type shows. So we're going to talk about one that I enjoyed very recently. Let me zoom you in. Let me tell you what we are doing for eyeshadow. So for eyeshadow today, we are going to be dipping into two palettes. One of them is going to be my Metal Butterfly Quad from Guerlain. And I'm going to be doing a look that I posted on Instagram like a really long time ago. And I enjoyed it so much that I figured I would like to come back and show it to you on camera someday. The first thing I'm going to do is I'm actually going to dip back and forth between the brown and the pink. And I'm going to apply that as my lid shade. And hopefully create somewhat of a light brown, you know, rosy brown base for my eyeshadow look, because I don't want it to be pink, but I also don't want it to be dark brown, and this is actually exactly the color that I'm aiming for. The difficult part is to replicate this on my other eye, because I usually start off and I think, oh, beautiful color, beautiful, you know, intensity of the pigment, I love it, and then I go on to my other eye and I do something entirely different. So let's hope that I can replicate this on my other eye. But let's talk about the show, you guys. So, you know, I had seen in some sort of rankings this show appearing a couple of times, and I thought, oh, okay, this goes on my list. The show we're talking about is called Don't Come Home. And for those of you who have already seen it, it will be no surprise, but it is actually not like an English-speaking show, it is a Thai show, which I was surprised about, but not something that would deter me from watching the show. It's only 6 episodes. And I don't want to give away too many spoilers, but at the same time I want to give a little bit of spoilers. So I'm going to preface this now by saying, if you don't want any spoilers and you want to watch the show completely like blindly, don't watch the rest of this video with audio on. You can just like mute me and see what I do for the eyeshadow look if that's what you're interested in. But if you don't mind like light spoilers, then you can hang around and I can talk a little bit about this show. And also I am going to toot my own horn by mentioning that I actually managed to pull off the same kind of color on both of my eyelids, even though I had to mix the two colors, and that doesn't really always work out the way I wanted to. Alright, for this next step I am actually now going to concentrate on the deeper brown shade, and I'm going to apply that in the outer corner and a bit in the crease to give more dimension in the outer corner of the eye. So the show starts off, and at first you get a very like strong feeling that you're watching, you know, something in the lines of The Haunting of Hill House. But as the show progresses, you start to get more the feeling that you're getting something of a cross between The Haunting of Hill House and Dark. And I have to say, I still haven't decided whether that's something that I should be more critical of. I didn't really feel critical though, I actually really enjoyed it. There were a lot of elements in the show, especially towards like the later episodes, which were either clearly borrowed or heavily inspired by elements in the show Dark. And I think I've mentioned Dark about 100 times before on my channel. It is my favorite TV show that I've ever watched. It is clever, it touches up on all the like subjects that I enjoy. Dark is an excellently done sci-fi about time travel. It's moody, it's depressing, it's so well done. I cannot recommend it enough. It's a German show, by the way. It's 3 seasons, extremely well executed. I actually rewatch Dark or like seasons of Dark pretty much every year. This year I haven't rewatched anything, but I'm pretty sure that soon the time will come when I will be rewatching Dark. But anyway, it has, if you've watched Dark, then I think you might enjoy Don't Come Home, because like I said, it borrows some elements almost quite literally from Dark. And even though it fools you into believing that you're watching a show that is more closely related to The Haunting of Hill House in the beginning, towards the later episodes it actually becomes much more, you know, reminiscent of Dark. Towards the later episodes it sort of like ditches or like puts a bit more in the background the elements of The Haunting of Hill House, and it becomes much more like Dark. And I want to say there's like even a sprinkling of Stranger Things in there. And I don't want to give more spoilers, so I'm not going to mention which detail comes from which show. You have to watch Don't Come Home by yourself, but I really enjoyed it. It was like, it touched upon like emotional elements, feminism, domestic abuse, so I just really enjoyed it. It was exactly the type of show that I love. And I found it, you know, spooky, but not too spooky. And because it leaned in a bit more on the side of like Dark, I didn't find it scary in the end. It was just such a good sci-fi show. I'm going to now do a little bit of that mixy mix again, because I want to put that on my lower lashes, and then we're going to put a bit of sparkle on my lids. And I cannot take too long today, because in fact I need to get going in exactly 10 minutes. So that is a show that I would like to recommend to you, especially if you like your, you know, sci-fi mystery type shows such as Dark. May I point out how incredibly gorgeous the texture of these Guerlain eyeshadows is on the lid. Look at this. It looks like my skin has been blurred, or I've put like a blurring filter on it. It is amazing. I love these eyeshadows so much. Next I'm going to take a little bit of glitter glue. I'm going to put here in the inner corners a tiny bit, and then a tiny bit on my lids. And then I'm just going to use my finger, and the shades that I'm going to use will be coming from a palette that I received actually as a present from one of you last year, the Luxe and Cheek eye palette in the shade Moonstone Glow. And the 2 shades that I'm going to mix are one of my favorites. This is a shade that is also present in the Milky Way quad from her new summer collection. This is the shade Lunar. And I'm also going to mix in a little bit of this beautiful like iridescent purpley sparkly shade. This is the shade Mystic, which unfortunately has not been re-promoted to my knowledge. But I'm going to basically apply one and then the other one over top, and it doesn't really matter in what order you're going to do it, as long as, you know, the 2 shades sort of like mixed create this gorgeous like iridescent pinky purpley goodness on your lids. It is so pretty. For my inner corners, I'm going to stick to the Moonstone Glow palette, and I'm just going to take a little bit of this like highlighter shade, which I kind of always forget to use as an actual highlighter. It might have worked really well for the look today, but I always think of this palette as an eyeshadow palette, and I really never remember that there is a highlighter in there, in a beautiful baked gelée formula at that. So I should really just put that also on my list of highlighters to use. I'm absolutely loving the look. I completed it with the beautiful Lisa by the stunning Lisa. So we're talking about the shade Lisa from the new Rouge Experience line from Lisa Eldridge, which, you know, I put in my beautiful personalized holder, which a lot of you have likened to like a peanut shell, which is hilarious. I didn't see it, and now I will never unsee it. I actually think that the coolest, you know, association that anyone had about this lipstick case is Colin from Queer Bones, who likened this to the mitotic spindle during cell division, where you have, you know, the microtubuli aligned on like the two poles of the cell, and in the center you have the, you know, the chromosomes aligned right before the cell divides. And this is another one that I will never unsee, and I think it is my absolute favorite. I hope that you enjoyed the look. Let me know what you thought about it. If you haven't watched Don't Come Home, I highly recommend it. Especially the last episode was such an emotional roller coaster. I just really enjoyed the show. I think this was very clear from this video. Anyway, let me know your thoughts. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in my next video. Bye!